smoke like a vapor. Don't need a coach, nigga, I'm a playmaker. Robbers with faces, get that boy a prayer. Drippin' them sticky, I stay with a sprayer. Pull up on your bitch, then it's back to the paper. Shoot at your click, then it's back to the paper. It ain't no pressure, we bought.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Only One KDB, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, bruh, we got the twins who killed their own mother after a fight. Now, we finna get to the video, bruh. If y'all new to the video, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that post notification bell so you can get notified when I drop another banger, bruh. While you at it, bro, like the video, bruh, so we can get into the algorithm. But anyway, we finna get to the video, bruh. Y'all boys been alright, bruh. Y'all been enjoying y'all day, bruh. This might be the only video I got for the day, cause I'm tired, bruh. Tired ain't even a word. I'm gonna record 2 videos today, bruh. But we finna get to the video, bruh. Y'all boys ready? Alright, let's get to it, bruh. This video finna be crazy.
Thanks to Family Island for sponsoring this video.
Shout out to Family Island.
Very innocent, very sweet, but the look in Nikki's face, she was fearful of those children. She knew that they worked together.
If you are one of those people who finds twins fascinating, this story
These twins crazy,
totally blow your mind. These twins not only shared their looks and DNA, but also shared something dark and twisted that led them to commit the most horrible crime. Description below. Let's dive in. Jormeka Nikki Whitehead had a rough start in life. She was born in prison, where her mom was serving time for possession. She was raised by her grandma, Della Frazier.
She was born in prison.
Who had a difficult time keeping her out of trouble. At only 17, Nikki ended up pregnant with 2 girls, who she named Tasmia and Jasmia, or Taz and Jazz for short. Nikki was described as a loving and devoted single mother who dreamed of giving her daughters a better life. But since she didn't have a job or a place of her own, she left the girls in the care of their great-grandmother, where they stayed until they were 12 years old. Della described her great-granddaughters as respectful, good, and smart girls. They got straight A's in school, were into performing arts, and took part in Girl Scout activities. They even had hopes of going to Harvard or Yale. But things took a dark turn when the girls went to live with their mother. In 2007, Nikki, who now had a home to give her daughters, went to court and asked that she be given custody of the twins. She moved them to Conyers, Georgia, where she hoped they'd all be a family.
What is
sadly, that never came to be. Trouble started when the girls started high school. Taz and Jazz wanted to go out partying and stay out late with their boyfriends. But Nikki had strict rules and curfew that the girls resented. They felt like she was a hypocrite because she had also partied. Nikki, on the other hand, felt that her daughters were too young. The girls kept challenging her rules, and Nikki punished them by taking away their phones and other privileges. This only made Taz and Jazz resent their mother even more. Police were called numerous times to the home to resolve the conflict between mother and daughters. One night, a frantic Nikki called the cops after Jazz snuck out to meet her boyfriend in the middle of the night. She was barely a teen at the time. Another night, during yet another blowout between the three, Nikki called the cops again.
The girls seem very innocent, very sweet. But the look in Nikki's face, she was fearful of those children. She knew that they worked together.
The twins told the officer that they didn't want to live with their mother and insisted on moving back with their great-grandma, where the rules were more...
Imagine, imagine being born in prison, bro. But that'll, I ain't gonna lie, but that'll have me like going crazy off the rip, bro. If my mother told me I was born in prison, bro, that's crazy, bro. But I don't know. We finna continue the video, bro.
Relax. The officer talked to Nikki and the girls, and after a while, things seemed to have calmed down. But still, the officer had a feeling things were not over. And she was right. Just a few minutes after she left the house, she heard someone screaming from the house. And when she rushed back to check, she saw Nikki screaming and running out of the house with a cordless phone in her hands. Nikki told the officer that the girls had jumped her as soon as she left. However, Taz and Jazz had an entirely different story. They told the officer that they were defending themselves from Nikki after she started beating them. But from Nikki's injuries, the officer knew that the girls were lying. She had her neck, on her chest, and she was hysterical. The girls, on the other hand, had no marks on them, no indication that they had really been in any kind of altercation. The twins were taken into custody and charged with battery. The juvenile court declared them ungovernable, which basically means their mother could not control them. Taz and Jazz were returned to their great-grandma and ordered to undergo counseling along with their mom. So the twins got what they wanted. And and were very happy to live with their great-grandmother, who could not tell them what to do. However, the twins were really difficult to handle, to the point that their great-grandmother had to deadbolt her bedroom door to keep them from stealing from her. They got into trouble numerous times, and the judge finally...
You can tell, bro, imagine stealing from your grandmother, bro. You can tell them females is menaces, bro. Both of them twins, they a problem. They was a real problem. But why are you stealing from your grandmother? What granny do? Y'all wanted to live with y'all grandmother all along just for y'all to steal from her? I ain't gonna lie, bro. These twins out of control, bro. We finna continue, bro. My bad, my eyes keep going though, bro. I'm a little tired, but we thugging it out, bro.
They decided that they were better off living with their mother. The twins protested this decision, but the judge told them to live with their mother for 2 weeks and see how it went. A status conference was set for January 19th, where they could review the progress. Sadly, this day never came, at least not for Nikki. On January 14th, 2010, Taz and Jazz ran to the police crying frantically, saying they'd found their mother bathtub. When the officers got to the scene, they found Nikki had been over 80 times, to the point that her spinal cord was nearly severed. Who could have done such a horrible thing? Forensic officers established that this was a crime of passion, which meant that the person who did it knew Nikki. Police already knew the troubled history between Nikki and her daughters, but could not believe that such tiny and innocent-looking girls could be capable of such brutality. So the police started investigating the other people in Nikki's life, trying to find answers. At this point, Taz and Jazz provided some information that seemed helpful to catch the killer. They said that Nikki had 2 boyfriends before she died, and that one of them heard her speaking to the other one on the phone. Could one of her boyfriends have done this in a fit of jealousy? After DNA testing, this theory was ruled out, and now all that was left was the twins. Taz and Jazz had been crying all this while and really seemed affected by their mom's passing. The officers even felt bad for the girls, who were now orphans. One officer even tried to help, but was shocked by a comment from one of the twins.
These 2 girls were, hugging each other and in each other's arms. And when I said, what can I do to make this easier for you? They turned and looked at me and they said, can we watch CSI?
That's messed up. Your mother just... and all you can think about was watching CSI. That really threw the officer off and made him think that maybe one of the girls were not so innocent.
These girls is crazy. They out their mind.
Also started noticing that no tears were coming out of the girls' eyes, and that when they talked about their mother who just died, they used some pretty insulting and mean words. Investigators grew even more suspicious. These twins is crazy, noticed bro. That the twins were still wearing their gloves while inside the station, so they asked them to remove the gloves. There were bite marks and scratch marks on both the girls' hands, and when detectives asked how they got these injuries, Taz and Jazz claimed they were fighting each other.
They lying.
Of course she was lying. And when the investigators went back to the crime scene, they found even more evidence against the twins. In Taz's bedroom, they found boots that had some blood on them. They found a clump of hair that seemed to have been ripped off someone's head. The police were now convinced that Taz and Jazz were responsible for their own mother's murder. So they decided to start digging more into the twins' story and found that they had lied about when they arrived in school. The twins had said that they were only 10 minutes late to school, but surveillance footage showed them entering mid-morning. At this point, the police decided to separate the girls and interviewed them individually. And the twins did not like that.
Taz, I want you to come out here and sit with them for a minute. I'll talk to your sister.
What are you going to do for you?
Although they tried to stick to their story, the stress of being apart was starting to wear them down, and their web of lies began to unravel. They earlier had told the police that they got their injuries from fighting each other, but now the story changed. Jazz started claiming that her injuries were self-inflicted and even bit her arm to sell the story, saying that it's something she does when she's nervous. But all the evidence against the twins was only circumstantial, so the police had to let them go. Taz and Jazz went back to living with their great-grandmother. For 4 months, Taz and Jazz went on with their lives as if nothing happened. They were going to school, hanging out with friends, and even attended the prom. Meanwhile, police gathered and tested evidence that would lock the twins up for a very long time. Nikki had not gone down easy, and she had fought to her last breath, and the bite marks that she left on her daughters proved to be their undoing. A dental examination was done on Nikki's teeth, and they matched with the bite bite marks on the twins. And that was not all. They also found human hair between Nikki's teeth, which is really disturbing.
Smiles that twin was behind Nikki.
Bro, these twins is crazy, bro.
Nikki's fighting for her life and bit her arm, and that's how the hair became embedded in her teeth.
4 months after this horrible incident, the police had gathered enough evidence to bring these two evil twins to justice. Taz and Jazz were arrested and charged with felony homicide and aggravated assault in their mother's passing. Both girls pleaded not guilty and were held without bail to await their trial. But 4 years later, before their trial even began, the twins decided to confess and gave chilling details of how everything happened. So, according to the twins, they were up until 2 or 3 in the morning and did not want to get up and go to school. Their mother came into their room holding a pot from the kitchen, and that's when things got ugly.
Just started waving the pot around, things like that or whatever. So I guess she trying to hit us with the pot. You know, she just threatening us and everything.
Jazz wrestled the pot from her mother, who then grabbed a kitchen blade, but she never got the chance to use it because Jazz struck her with the pot first. The twins then started her with everything they could find as Nikki tried to fight back. Taz then took the blade and stuck it into their mother's stomach. Together, the twins dragged their mother into the bathtub. Although badly injured, Nikki was still alive at this time and was even talking to the girls.
She said,
She ate her. She ate her. It's the same thing. We're going to jail.
The girls waited until their mother passed on. Then they tried to clean up the scene, changed their clothes, and went to school. The girls pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter and were sentenced to 30 years in prison. Although the twins claimed they didn't hate their mother and didn't intend to take her life, the evidence would tell a totally different story. The detectives found a journal that the two girls shared, where they would take turns writing how much they disliked their mother and wanted to get rid of her. There was a trail of outside the home that looked like Nikki had managed to get away during the fight, but the girls dragged her back inside to finish her off. It would appear that she even had made it to the neighbor's house. A man next door told the cops that he had recalled someone yelling and he heard his door ringing, but he was in bed at the time and didn't get up to investigate. This case is just horrible. Guys, can you imagine losing your life to the very people you gave life to? That's awful, right? Nikki tried her best to be a good mother to those girls, and they repaid her in the worst way ever. I don't even want to imagine how she felt during her last moments. The girls are currently serving time in separate prisons within the Georgia Department of Corrections. Taz is serving at Pulaski State Prison, while Jazz is at Arundel State Prison. Both the girls have since graduated from high school, and Jazz was even a valedictorian in her class. And get this, their great-grandmother Della still defends the twins, even after what they did to their mother. During Jazz's graduation, she was beaming with joy and pride over Jazz's accomplishment.
I am so proud of her. I feel so good about what she accomplished. I always wanted to see this day come.
You guys, can you believe this? I get that she's trying to be supportive and all, but that's just wrong. It kind of seems like she's disregarding what Nikki went through. Anyways, both girls are now eligible for parole and could get out at any time. But if you ask me, they should never be allowed to get out until they complete their 30-year sentence. That's the end of our video for today. What do you think about it?
Alright, that's going to do it, bro. If y'all enjoyed that reaction, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. This is going to be my only video for the day because, like I said, I'm tired, bro. But anyway, we finna get out of here, bro. These twins is crazy. I don't know what was on their mind. They was out their mind. They was crazy. They was insane. I don't know what to say, bro. But, how they only get 30 years? They should have got 50 years. Yeah, they should have got 50. And they eligible for parole right now, so they can get out any minute. I wouldn't date not near one of them. They crazy. They insane. They fucked up in the head. But we finna get out of here, bro. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'm gone, bro. These niggas, they crazy, bro.
Have a reason to cry. Funny movement that I'm torn to 9. Hunger, you could see the pain in my eyes. 15, cracker gave me some time. Lost my brother, I was losing my mind. Fake love left the niggas behind. Buying anxious to sell.